He was stopped just before midnight in Napa County, California, and was released hours later on $5,000 bail. Speaker Pelosi released a statement saying she won't comment on this private matter that occurred, she says in her statement, while she was on the East Coast.
Welcome everyone. If you haven't now already subscribed, if you would subscribe, hit the bell, give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends, your family, and your neighbors, and also comment on the video. I appreciate it. It does great for the algorithm and also helps my ego. So without further ado, let's jump into this video.
So you could try both feet out if you want. I'll let you start. You can try the test with both feet. I'll give you like a pre-trial run, for lack of a better term. You could try it with both feet, see which one you feel more comfortable with, and then once you're ready, just let me know. Are you sure you could complete the test? Okay. Because I really don't want you to fall over and hurt yourself. That's the last thing I want. Right, but that defeats the whole purpose of the test, grabbing onto a pro car. You seem pretty shaky on your legs, and I don't want you to fall over. So.
Well, I'm not gonna fall over. It's just a question.
Right. Well, just based on what I'm seeing, I don't feel comfortable having you perform the test because I don't want you to have the potential to fall over and hurt yourself. That's not what I'm trying to accomplish.
Okay, guys. Now, my interpretation of this video is first, this guy is plastered. Okay. And if you don't know who Paul Pelosi is, he's Nancy Pelosi's husband. And if you don't know who Nancy Pelosi is, she is the Speaker of the House of the United States of America. This is her husband. This guy is in his 80s. Okay. He's not a young man. Right. Okay. So my observations, and you guys have your own with this. This guy is not even cognitive. He can't even move. He's paralyzed. Okay. He's so drunk. He has to hold on to the police cruiser in order to maintain his balance. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, okay, this guy crashed. That's why he was actually, in this situation. He crashed his vehicle, obviously a 911 call, and he was arrested for driving while under the influence. Now, there's reports that he also had some illegal drugs in his system. Whether that's true or not, a lot of this is hush-hush. But there is a big deal with him having an underage person in the car. Now, that is not being reported in the mainstream media. And whether it's true or not, I don't think anybody will ever know. I think that this will be swept under the rug. He was, I think as far as yesterday, he was found guilty. I think he was sent to 3 days in prison, which he served 2 days in jail. I shouldn't say prison, jail. And also, he has, I think it's 9 months or a year probation, right? So obviously a slap on the wrist. Now, if anybody here has been drunk driving, leave the comments below what the effects of drunk driving did to your life as far as every aspect. I mean, monetarily, socially, that type of thing. As far as I know, and the people I've talked to that had DUIs, their life is a mess for 10 years. I mean, not only do they have to pay lawyers' fees and court costs and insurance fees and that type of thing. I mean, it takes them a while to get their license back. They have to prove that they get their license back. If they're a repeat offender, they might have to wear some kind of ankle deal, or they have to breathe into some kind of measurement while you get into the car, if they were even able to drive. Some people, they get their license fairly soon. Other people, they have to wait. And if you were involved in an accident, that's more of a penalty, depends on your state. So there's big ramifications on DUI. And I think, and nowadays, you don't need to drive under the influence. You don't. Whether it's marijuana, drugs, or even as simple as alcohol, you don't have to. Now, everyone I know, if they're drinking and they're at a bar or someone's house, you know, they're well aware enough that they can't drive. They'll call an Uber. Okay, simple as that. Hey, Mr. Homeowner. Hey, bartender, I'm going to leave my car parked in your parking lot or your driveway. I'm going to be responsible. Call an Uber, get a ride home, or they call a friend or a family member. It used to be an advertising that said designated driver. Remember all them commercials you would see, you know, have someone in a car that's a designated driver. Well, you don't see that anymore. What you see now is a lot of these Ubers and Lyfts and these rideshare companies taking these drunks everywhere they need to go, which is fine. Because most people are responsible, if they know they're going to drink ahead of time, why they're not drunk, they call an Uber to wherever they're going, whether it's a bar or out to dinner with a companion, or, you know, someone's house, or watch a football game, or even go to a pro sporting event. I mean, people know they're going to get drunk. They call ahead of time. They make reservations. They schedule their ride, that type of thing. So what I'm getting at is there's a responsibility that most of us underlings do. Okay. So we don't put someone, I think I read a report that drunk driving has decreased in the last few years since Uber and Lyft came on, that 65-70%, that high. Yeah. So it's quite amazing if you're still driving while the influence. I think it has to do mostly with ego. You're scared to get into an Uber or call somebody. You think you're some kind of a badass that you can drive and you're fine and all that type of thing. I think if you have one or two drinks, maybe if you're fine. But after that, I think you need to be responsible.
What are you drinking, man? You should put it down.
So we're getting down to an 80-some-year-old man driving drunk with maybe an underage person in the vehicle. Now, I know that this relationship between him and his wife is probably not in a relationship that most people find a marriage relationship. I'm sure that, you know, they probably sleep in separate beds. They had separate activities. They have separate friends. They do these photo ops to show everybody, hey, we're getting along fine. I'm sure it's a business relationship, okay? And, you know, it's sad, but hey, when you make hundreds of millions of dollars and you're worth $400, $500, $600 million, your life takes a different turn. It's more about the money than it is relationships. It's more about the power than anything else. So my observation with this thing is that this guy was completely out of control. He was irresponsible for a man of his stature. I think anybody that's an adult, what age you classify as somebody as adult, whether they're 14 or 21 or whatever, I don't know. If they're responsible, they don't conduct themselves in this manner. They don't take other people's lives at risk like this. What do you think about drunk driving or driving or whatever? I mean, this guy actually was involved in an accident, okay? You could see the guy in the video. He couldn't even stand up. And I think the cop, he should have I wouldn't have took it as far as he did. I would have said, dude, if you can't stand up within 2 seconds of my verbally asking you to take a step forward, then you are drunk and you're under arrest. Simple as that. Now, I seen also that his vehicle he was driving, I think it was a Porche or Ferrari or whatever, that vehicle is being sold by him. So what that makes a difference or not, I don't know. But I think it's for people that are underneath the kings of this country. You know, it's about time that we speak up loudly. Okay. And that's why I started making these videos, is because we need another person out there expressing our voice, expressing our outrage and that type of thing. That's why I'm making these videos. And it's not something that I was born to do, but I'm into it now. I mean, I'm full-fledged, all in, ankle deep, they say, or is it neck deep or forehead deep or eye deep? I don't know. So yeah, I'm all in because there needs to be another voice. And if you feel, get involved in your local community, get involved in your council meetings, if you want to be a council person, a mayor, statewide, whatever you got to do, man, to put this stuff out there, because this has to come to an end. These people cannot conduct themselves in this manner. I just think that if you're in a position, you are held more responsible. That old line on Spider-Man movie, remember he said, with great responsibility comes great responsibility. I don't know how. Put it in the comments below. It rings loud to me that you need to be responsible if you're given some type of authority. And he even though he doesn't have the authority of the United States government behind him, he has a wife that is, and he is a reflection of her, and she is a reflection of him. And however they want to look at life, like they're special, or that doesn't matter what people think of them. It does a lot, because when you're an adult, whether it's your neighbor or your kids or someone online, you have a responsibility to act mature. And this gentleman, he's not going to have a full-fledged book thrown at him. If he's in his 80s and he's going to go through years of insurance, not being able to get insurance or a driver's license, I mean, it's pretty much done as far as that. But I don't think he's going to go through with that. I think what's going to happen to him is he's going to be let go and slap on the wrist, that type of thing. So if you guys found value in this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. I appreciate you commenting, and also share this with your friends and your family. And if you would, subscribe. If there's a bell, tap that bell. That way you know when I put out videos, you get an instant response through an email or an app, that type of thing. And I appreciate you guys. I will talk to you, see you. Well, I won't see you actually, but I will talk to you and on the next video. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye now.
I'm on the run, I've got no alibi for what I've done. Took what you treasure